Hi folks. Well, it's come to the stage I'm getting desperate now to find models to do. So I'm going to do a special video today. Somebody asked me in the comments, I can't remember who it was now, I've had so many comments. Thanks for all your comments and your interest in the channel. I do appreciate it. It's nice to know that well, it makes me feel wanted anyway. But I'm going to do something different today, and it's going to be, well, not different, it's going to be a Batmobile. It's not different, I have done it before, I know, but it's a Whizzwheels Batmobile, and what I'm going to do, I've got loads of spare parts here, of like bits and pieces of Batmobiles, and I'm going to scrape up the pieces I need and make it up from there. So let's have a look and see if I can find the bits first. Right, I know I've got in here, I've got some stuff in here what I can use, so I'll try and get this open if I can, one-handed, because I'm holding my camera with the other hand. I don't usually do this, obviously, it's very rare. I usually use a tripod, but seeing I'm looking for a few bits. Oh, there's an old Carrera there. Need to do that. I could have done that one, I suppose, but I think I needed a few parts for that. So anyway, well, there's a seat section. So we've got one piece. We need a nice set of wheels now. And what I might do, we've got some decals. Take them out. I've got a screen there, but it's a white screen, but I have got a trick to do something with that, which I will show you later in the video. I need a decent set of wide wheels. I fancy doing a wide wheeler. That's not too bad. Is that wide wheels? Yeah, I think oh no, that's a wide wheels there. That's the really wide wheeler one. They're not too bad. I wonder if I can find the other set of them. There they are. They look a bit rough and ready, but I can clean them up. They'll be alright. Anyway, that's what we got from there, is all we need, I think, for now. There's not going to be much else in that bin. That's where the rest of my parts are, in there. As you see, I've got my bat stand. We'll be using that later, and all it is a bit of foam cut out so I can turn the bat upside down when I reassemble it. So I've called it a bat stand. But we'll have a look in this box. Right, so here we go with this box. I've got blue screens there, like, as you can see. So right for them. We need a cage. That looks pretty good. It's a nice condition. So that's another part. What else do we need? We've got Men from Uncle. We need some bits out of here. We've got aerials and beacons. We'll need one of them. We've got steering wheels. We'll need one of them. Oh, I've got a set of tubes there. Look, it's already been refurbished. We'll put them there. There's the beacon inside part. We'll need a piece of that. We got springs. We'll need them. We've got Batman and Robin, so we'll need them. There's an exhaust piece, we'll need one of them. What else have we got here? Of course, we'll need a chain cutter. We've got a bag of them in there. We'll put that there. We'll need a dashboard. We've got one of them. I think we need some horns. I'm going to have to search some of them out. I'm not sure if I've got any horns for the top. I'm going to have to search for a set of them. We'll need a wheel. Got loads of them under there. We need the clip. It goes inside the body, and we need, where is it? An exhaust piece, and we'll need a button, which we've got. Right, we've got most of the bits we need. Right, if we put the old pieces back there a minute. I'll put the camera on the tripod now because it makes life easier for me. Put my other little men back the way. Under this shelf here, we've got our shelves, and as you can see, there's quite a few. Shelf tops, loads of tops there. Look. So all I've got to do, I've even got a bat boat there. All I've got to do is sort out a nice top part of a shell and a nice bottom half, and we'll go from there. Right, without further ado, we've got our bits. Let's get on with it. Right, as you can appreciate, there's quite a few different parts to this model. We'll start. We got the shell. I found a decent shell. Well, it doesn't look decent at the moment, obviously, but once that's all stripped and shined up, it'll look brand new. So it's just a case of painting this. We've got our seating piece. That's got to be cleaned up. I've got a couple of repro aerials, so obviously I'm only going to use one of these. One of them will be fitted. We've got a reproduction screen, but it's a clear one. But I've got a trick up my sleeve for that. I'll show you that later on. We've got an original set of tubes which I've refurbished with the Molotov paint. An original out of my box with all the spares exhaust with the tow hitch. There's the flame. Original dashboard. We've got an original cage. We've got a reproduction steering wheel, which is from Flowers. It's not too bad actually. Quite a good reproduction, but once it's all shined up and all that, you don't really know it's a reproduction. We've got 2 springs, the one for the slasher blade. We've got a wheel which operates your missiles at the back, firing mechanism, and that there is to do with the actual chain cutter operation in the front, the button and the switch. And we've got a nice set of wide wheels. So let's start cleaning all these bits up and get on with it. Right then, I've sorted everything out into their little spots. All the plastic pieces are over there. I've got my seating piece here. This is going to have to be cleaned in my washing machine thing. And I'll show you how to do one of these beacons in a minute. The metal parts, so that's got to be cleaned up, these metal pieces with the this thing here. I'll just give them a quick whirl. The screen, I'm going to show you how to well, make that blue. And all these pieces here got to be re-gilded with the old gold colour. All that's got to come off first, so the old wheel will get that off on me Dremel, and it's going to be resprayed with this stuff, like a gold. The one it is brilliant metallic gold. So let's get on and do that. Just thought I saw something here that this was a bit crooked, so I'm going to get my pliers. I think it's slightly crooked there. If I get that, just squeeze it like that. I'm not sure. It might be my eyesight. I don't know. It does look a little bit better. We'll soon find out anyway. If it shuts properly in the actual shell of the car when it goes back in. Because that's a pain with these Batmobiles. When you put these in, don't just go and glue the car all back together without making sure this works first. I've been caught a few times with that. Make sure everything works like it's supposed to before you start gluing things back together. Otherwise, you'll come a cropper. You have to open it all up again. And you don't want to have to do that. This is a fiddly thing to clean here now. I'm just getting the bits off. Yeah, that'll do that. Nice clean spring. Then you gotta give them a brush off really. Oh, I dropped that one now. Where's that gone? Good job I've got a lot of them. Oh, there it is. Dropped it on the bloody floor. It sprung out my hand. Right, let's try again. Sorry about this, folks. I load it a bit tighter this time. That's that one done. And then finally, do a quick clean up over on the old release thing. I mean, when I put this in the car, when it's all sprayed up and we're putting it all back together, what I usually do is I put a bit of this stuff, petroleum jelly, in other words, Vaseline. You can put a little dab of that in there, and that helps. Where's my switch gone? That helps with this switch, because that switch goes in like that, and it helps, it greases all that part up there. And I also put a bit on the spring, because when you put it in there, the spring goes under there like that, underneath, and it keeps all the muck out of the way of everything. That's the way it goes back together like that, something like that, in the actual bodywork. So if you grease all this up with a bit of petroleum jelly, it keeps it working nice and smooth. And I also put a bit on the actual spring that goes onto the chain cutter, and it keeps that lubricated, so when you work it in the car, it works nice and easy. So the other two now, really, it's just this steering wheel. Got to be cleaned up a little bit. And all I need for that, I'll take one of my files. I've got a long thin file here, because if you notice, I don't know if you can see it from there, but if you notice inside that steering wheel, look closely, you can see a lot of shrapnel with the mold. See the mold? Where it's molded inside there, all that's got to come off. Right in here, this stuff here. I mean, you don't have to do that, it's just me, I do, because I'm fussy. I'm just a fussy old git, and I like to get it looking proper. So I'm going to go on, well, all you need to do is file it like that, but I mean, that'll take a while, so I'm going to do this off camera, and then we'll spray up these old bits. And then I'll show you, because this is going to have to be left, it's going to need 3 coats. I'm going to show you how to make this screen blue. So that'll be the next task. I mean, while I'm waiting, I've actually got the body of the car now soaking in some caustic soda to get the paint off, so we can spray it. So while we're waiting for that, I can be doing all these little stupid little jobs here with these little bits. Because there's so many bits on this car. You know, you just as well get all this prepared, you know, and then it's all ready for it to go back together then, once all these bits has been done. So anyway, let's get on with that and I'll show you how it comes out. Right, I don't know if you can see that, but that's what I mean by shearing off a bit of that flash. It's flash or something like that they call it. And it just, I know you can't see it really from when the model's finished, but I know it's there, you know, and that's bad enough because I know it's like it, and I don't really want to let it go in there like that, so I'd rather do it and make it look like this. So let's get up and spray these pieces up. Right, so here we go first with the toe etch. And like I said, all you need is a light coat. If you put too much on, it's a pig of a stuff to dry this sort of paint. It's known as plastic coat. There, that'll be enough. That's all you need. And I'm using like a paintbrush, old paintbrush thing with a crocodile clip. Just to hold that there. So that's that piece done. And next we've got the chain cutter. Again, just dust it. There you go. That's all we need. And last but not least, we've got our steering wheel, which hasn't had any paint at all because it's a reproduction steering wheel. And that should do that. Right, then our screen, as you can see, it's just one of your basic clear screens. So, little bits that's lying on there we don't want. It's nice and clean already, although I need to make a bigger hole in the top for our beacon light. Doesn't look like the hole's big enough. I use a 2mm hand thing for this. Well, I think it's 1.5 actually. So I'm going to just push that through, screw that through, so that our beacon, the red piece of the beacon will fit through it. That's all it's for. Gotta try and drill it out through here. Just be patient with it, don't force it. Otherwise you're going to get problems. You don't want to break these screens because they're very dear. Very expensive to buy. So there we've got our hole there. Let's see if we can get our stuff through it. That don't want to go through. To make the hole slightly bigger. I think the top needs slicing on this one. I don't know where this screen's come from. I don't think it's one of my usual Australian jobs. Yeah, it's not quite. It just needs flattening off a bit on the top. And then screw that through again. Right, we should have a bit more luck this time. And that's all you need. Just so as your beacon stuff will go through. And I'll show you what to do with this later on. But as we can see, it'll go right through our screen now. It's nice and tight. Because what you've got to do with this, when you get it from model places and stuff like that, because there's no sort of flat piece on the top, so what I do is I heat up a knife and I just dab it on there just a bit to flatten the end off, so then when I put it in the beacon like this, and you've cut it to the size you want, when you flatten the end off, that holds the beacon in there then. It's no good leaving it like that, because it'll fall off like that, see? And what you've got to have is, because when you put that on, once we've done our screen, what you've got to actually have is a flat piece that's going to be flatter on the top. So all you need is a nice sharp knife, or it doesn't have to be sharp, anything flat, a flat piece of metal. Just warm it up. I'll use a candle, warm it up with a candle, I'll show you later anyway. And then flatten the end off and then cut off how much you want. But I'll show you that. First of all, I'm going to show you how to make this screen blue. And the way we do that is we've got the old faithful pledge solution, which I rejuvenate my screens with, but with an added ingredient of printer ink. Now all you need is a drop and a little tiny drop of this, or a drop and a little bit. I just judged it, and it just turns blue, but it's like a blue, very thin blue lacquer, and it does work. I have tried this before. So what you do is pop your screen in there like that. Make sure it's totally covered. Beacon light, everything. Give it a good shake about. Make sure there's no bubbles in it. Get my little drying thing. Because we're going to have to leave this for 24 hours to let it dry. And then we might have to dunk it again. Depends, you know, how the finish is. I mean, if you're happy with the finish, you don't need to, but now if you look at that, I mean, no, that's like magic, isn't it? You've now got a blue screen. So you let that dry in there. I mean, I have seen some restored models, what people tried to restore donkeys years ago, and they tried painting these screens and it just doesn't work, because the paint runs, it just doesn't look right. But I mean, up there might just need another dunking, and that'll be alright, that'll be fine, and you've got yourself a blue screen. So there you go, my secret is out. I've just let you in on a little secret there of how to get a blue screen out of a clear screen. I mean, you could do it with the old Interceptor, the 351 Interceptor screens. You can do it with them as well, because you can't get a repro blue screen for them. I've tried, and I've actually done it on my I've got an old one here. I've actually done it on one that was a clear screen, but I tried it out on this. This was a tester, because this is one I took out. It's no good, but it does work, and you can handle it like that. But you can't buy blue screens for the Interceptor, so I bought a clear one and put it in my die, and now it's blue. So there you go, there's another little tip for you. I'm giving you all my secrets. Right then, like I said, what I do with this, if I heat up my knife, I just want to make a flat top on the top of that plastic, and I'll show you how it's done. We get this so hot, and then we just press it and hold it. Don't take it off right away. Just hold it there for a while until it sticks like that. Move the candle out of the way. And this is the bit you've got to try and get right. It's fallen off now, you see. So now I've got the flat top. Now what I've got to do is cut around that now. So I'll get rid of the candle. I don't need that anymore. So then we just cut around. Just try and cut the excess off. Might be better using a sharper knife. Don't cut too much off, otherwise you have to do it all over again. But that's how you get your little bit on the top. That's see, so that's more round now. So when you put that through your beacon, there you go. You got your beacon, and that's how you do it. Push it down. And that's how you do your beacon. And then all you got to do is cut off how much, you know, when you sort of like, when you got your screen and you're going to push it in the top, you just cut off how much you need. You want to cut it off about there, really. So it's just going to be cut off inside there slightly. So if you can mark it inside there and then just cut it off, just push that down and then like that, and then it's done. But that's how you do your beacon. So I hope that's helped you. If you've always wondered how to do that. Most of this is common sense, you know, I mean, anybody can do it. But anyway, I'm still going to put these in the wash. And then I'll come back in a minute once I've cleaned up the Batmobile body, and we'll get on from there and get that one resprayed. Okay then folks, I've cleaned up this shell. Looks a lot better already, doesn't it? I'm going to make a point here. If anybody's ever doing one of these Batmobiles, these shells are pretty manky sometimes. And what you want to do, I mean, they say, you know, the secret of the finish of the paint is in the preparation. So what you want to do is along these ridges here. Usually when they come out of the factory, I don't think they bothered like sanding that down. But what I do is flatten that slightly. I don't know if you can see. Put like a little edge on that. Not totally, but smoothed it out. But I mean, on these old shells, you've got to, so there's a little nick there that I missed. You've got to like try and follow that nice and smooth along there, because that, when that's painted, that's going to show up and it's going to look horrible. So if you can get the burr off of there, there's usually a burr along there. And even, you know, in their lifetime they get battered, and the edges of this is usually all pitted and, you know, like marked along there. So you want to get a nice flat edge along that piece as well. It just makes it look better. And there's another spot as well. Usually you also get it on the old headlights around there, where they've been battered around when when the kids has been at them. That there piece has got to be done. There's a bit of a nick there, as you can see. I don't want that showing when I paint it, so I'm going to have to follow that piece out. But if if you flatten these off slightly and then get a bit of emery paper over it to smooth it over, you get a nice flat finish on that. Then it looks a lot better when it's painted. Just little things like that, that you got to do with these shells. That's why these take so long to do, really, Batmobiles, because they're quite a big vehicle, and it's going to show up. So anyway, I'm going to follow that piece out. That's my last bit there on this one, and then I'm going to get this undercoated. I'm going to put a bit of an undercoat on to fill up any other little tiny nicks like that. You can see there that you can't. I've rubbed that down, but it's not going to go anywhere. There's a few little bits of pit in there, but I'm going to put an undercoat on this before I actually gloss it. So I'll get that all undercoated and painted with the old gloss black, and then we'll bring it back, and it'll be it'll just be assembly then, and I'll try and show you a more in-depth you know, tutorial, you could say, on reassembly. Because my other two videos there, I shot them with a bit of an underpower camera, and they're not brilliant, but you can see near enough what I am doing. But I'll try and show you a bit better with this one. I know it's only a Whizzwheeler, it ain't got the flame that goes up and down. But the only difference with the one with the flame that goes in and out is you haven't got that bar. There's no bar there, and you've got like that cam belt, or the cam belt. You got like a cam on your wheel, and that's what turns the flame. That's the only difference with the other one, but you can see that in the other videos. But that's the only difference with the Whizzwheels. It's got a bar here, because you only got the short flame that doesn't move. But anyway, I'll get on and do that, and then we'll bring it back. You don't want to see it all being painted again. You know what that involves. It's kind of black spray paint, basically. So let's get on and do that. So, as you can see, this is some time later now, for me. But for you, it was just a few seconds. I've actually finished doing this now. It's all nicely painted up, glossed up. As you see, there's a nice finish on these edges. All the nicks have been took out. I've put the badges on, and I've also painted in the headlights. I've done these red because quite a few of these wide wheelers, I understand, came with red headlights on them. So instead of the normal yellow, I thought I'd do them red. So that's not coming too bad. All I did is I gave it a coat of undercoat, matte black undercoat, and maybe a couple coats just to cover up any little tiny bits. See, the edges are nice and clean now, look. And then I gave it about 4 coats of gloss, because I had a couple of nice days. So I gave it 4 coats of nice gloss on it, and then the next day it had a couple coats of lacquer. And well, there you go. It's all ready now to put back together. I've cleaned the seats out. They're all ready to go back in. I've also done the screen. There's our clear screen turned into a blue one, and I put the beacon light on. All I've done is just push that on. I mean, you can put a dab of glue in the bottom if you want, but that ain't going to come out. That's pretty tight in there. So let's get on and put this back together. Right, so I've got my bat stand. First of all, I'm going to lay this, that's what it's for, look. Lay that on top of there, and then everything can go in nice and simple. So we get our aerial. That'll just drop in like that. Make sure it's we can turn it around in a minute and straighten it up. Get our tubes. It's quite simple, this assembly of this one, really. Drop your tubes in. Get our wheel. That just drops in like that. Right, then we get our cage, and we want our screen. So with the screen, we want the horns first. Put the horns in the bottom of this. You'll be very careful not to snap this bottom little handle off, really, with this. I've got a feeling these might have to be cut slightly, because you'll find when you get repro screens, sometimes if you've got an original set of these horns, you've got to like cut a little piece off the end of this. So I'll just get on and do that in a minute. I don't think it needs a lot. I mean, you might as well see what I mean. See that? You could do it off the front if you wanted to, but there's quite a bit got to come off the back. I think I'll cut it off the front piece. If you look there, it's going to have to be cut along there slightly on the actual tubes. So I'll make a little mark there, because it won't fit in the actual, in this piece here. Because on these repro screens, they're not always the dead same size, if you know what I mean. So I mean, it's quite simple to do. Just get your I mean, I'm trying to do it on camera for you so you can see it easier. I mean, I'd rest this on something if I was doing it normally. I'm trying to do it so you can see it. So if I chop my finger off, then if I can get it in there like that. I'm going to have to rest it on something folks, because this ain't working. Right, as you can see, that's all it is. It's just chop off the front piece. I mean, if you want, you can chop all this off, but it doesn't really matter. Because, I mean, once you put it in there, look, it's just got to fit into there, basically. It's just got to fit up there like that. Easier said than done, he says. There we go. Once you got your cage on it, or if I actually put the cage on it, I'll show you what I mean. There. As you see, once you got your cage on there. This isn't the best of screens, actually, this one. It's not one of my Australian, where I get from Australia, I don't think. Because, as you see, the beacon's not sitting very straight on it either. But, I mean, this is only a Scrapyard bat, so it'll do for what we want. Anyway, once you've done that, the next part, as I said before, I'm going to get our petroleum jelly, because we're going to put in the spring now. So all you got to do, if I get my tweezers, is get a bit of jelly on there. Let's get it all, because this will help keep all this from deteriorating in the future. Like, you know, when you've got it, you know, when you've got the model all done up, you don't want any of this like muck getting in there. So all you got to do is put that there like that. Have it at a slight angle. Well, I say a slight angle, it's not doing what I want it to do. There, like that. And then we get our little pin. We want to put it on the bottom of there. You see? And then put that through. Get a nice bit in there. And then we just drop our pin on the top of there. I'll just get this out of the way a minute. As you see there, like, we've got to hitch that front of that onto the spring. If you hold that with your finger, I've dropped everything else now. If you hold that on your finger, you'll see the spring there. So if you get your tweezers in there, push it down like that, and that's our spring done. I've dropped my wheel. Put that one back. Alright, the next bit, we just put our cage in. Drop it in like that. Push it onto the actual pins. There's 3 pins there. And we get all that pushed on. Now what I normally do here, once I've got all that settled in the aerial straight, I put a dab of glue on each of that and I leave this and let it set. Sometimes I'll put the actual back on just to get it set in the right position, but sometimes it helps if you put a dab of glue on it. It makes life easier when you carry on the next part, because I've got to actually make up the rivets anyway. So we'll come back when I've made these rivets up and we'll finish it off. Right, so in the end what I did, as you can see, to make the glue go off a bit quicker, I put a bit of baking powder on it, or baking soda. You can buy it cheap, and it hardens up super glue. So what I did, I held it there, I sprinkled a little bit on top of each where I blocked the glue, and that's gone solid now, so that's nicely fixed in there. In the meantime, I've done my rivets, I've prepared my rivets. These rivets here is a different set. I bought them from another place called Dinky Club. That's also somewhere else you can go, but I don't use them very much because it's very rarely got anything in. I mean, I was lucky, I got 2 packets of these here, but this is medium size, by the way. But you'd be very lucky to get anything from Dinky Club. That's why I don't usually go there so much, because they haven't always got a lot of stock in. They must sell out pretty fast, that's all I can say. So I usually stick to model supplies. But anyway, we've got our rivets all sorted ready there now. Next part, you put your steering wheel in. What I usually do, I just tack a little bit of glue there just to hold that steering wheel in, because sometimes when you put it under there, the bloody thing falls out. So I got so cheesed off with that happening. So what I do is now I just tacks it onto the actual dashboard, and then you don't have to worry about it falling out. So you just put that one in like that. Got our chain cutter. I put a bit of the old petroleum jelly on either side. Put that one in like that. So that one will move nice and freely now. Got our exhaust. That just drops in the back like that. And there's where the bar comes in handy. That just because it's not a moving frame on this one, as you know. Then what you got to do is put your Robin or your Batman in before you put this car together, because you have a job to getting in their house, and that's what's been a problem really with a lot of these when they was toys, is the kids trying to get them out, and then that's what's ended up breaking the screens, because they've got the Robin out alright. Why they want to take them out, I don't know, but that's where kids went one way. So, but when they tried to get the Batman out, well, you haven't wanted to know. And you just drop your wheels on there like that. Put your base plate on. This is the fiddly part. You've got to drop it on nice and level, because otherwise perhaps them wheels goes up there, I don't know. I might have them the wrong way round, don't know. Get your wheels in. See, this is the part you've got to fiddle about. I think it's going to be easier if I take it out in my little back stand and just have a fiddle with this. There it goes. Once you've actually got it there, you're okay. That's the trouble with these wide wheelers. The wheels are so wide on these things. It's like it doesn't want to fit, but it will fit. Just gotta keep on with it. Come on, baby. You know you want it. Don't think it does, folks. We're having problems here. Why won't you go on there? They will go inside there, won't they? Or maybe not. Perhaps I haven't got a wide wheel space. Well, there is only one thing for it. The front one's alright, as we can see. I'm going to have to nip a bit of the plastic off of there on the actual hub part. If I get my knife, I'll move this out of the way. There's always a remedy. You get it inside there and just roll it like that. and let your knife do the work. You can get one of them so whether the wide wheel bases are slightly wider at the back, I don't know. Must be something different on them. I never knew that. That's the only way to do it though. Doesn't fit, make it fit. Do another bit off the back of that side as well. I won't bother showing you all the gluing of the rivets because this video has gone on long enough already and you've seen it all in previous videos. I'll just get this to go together and then we can look at the finished item of our junkyard bat. Right, now let's try again, he says. Put that in there. Let's see if it fits over now. After it's had the chop, there we go. That's better. Drop that on there. That's the front piece, got to go now. These are so fiddly, folks. It's unbelievable sometimes. Just got to push it together. Why ain't the front? Is it going to work? The spring, that's the thing. See, I don't understand why it's not clipping together. It should just slot together. Don't understand this, folks. We're having problems at Houston. Let's try again. Keep persevering with it. Well, there it is. I reckon if I stick that front end first. It's a thing, the seating is causing the problems, I think. See if that works. No, that's not working, so I can't stick that together. Something's holding us back here. I'm going to figure it out. Right, folks, what it was the actual dashboard had moved inside and I couldn't get this down properly. I managed to get the two front ones in and I've done it. I know I've done it off camera, but I had it in the sweet spot and I didn't want to move it, to tell you the truth. So anyway, we'll put the others in now. So we'll just get the back. I wasn't going to show you the riveting of this, but it ain't going to matter, is it? So we get our glue and we get a bit of wire. Drop our little drops in there. I'll put quite a bit there because I want it to try and cling to the actual body as well, if you know what I mean. I'll push them rivets in as tight as they'll go, and then we let that set. Well, I've only got the middle ones to go, so I shan't bother with that. We'll just have a look in the finished article in just a second. Well, folks, there she is, the finished article. Not bad from a pile of bits and pieces. come out nice, I think. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. Well, there's a bit of a scratched up video really, because I really wanted to, you know, make over a proper model, but this is the best I can do for now. So like I say, please share this video if you like it, if you think your friends might like it. Any new subscribers are welcome, and hope you enjoyed it, and I'll try and get back as soon as I can. I'm not promising anything very soon, because I've got to restock with some models, so I'm going to have to hunt around the boot sales and the toy fairs and try and get some more models. So I'm not sure when the next video will be, but I'll try and get one up as soon as I can. So until then, it's bye bye from me.